Hey everybody, welcome back to the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. My name is Scott. If you're new to this channel and you're looking for reviews of different whiskeys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also make sure you hit the bell notification. That's going to alert you to when I'm doing new video uploads and or live streams. So today from Devil's Creek Distillery out of Mammoth Lakes, California, we've got two of their whiskeys. We've got the bourbon whiskey and their rye whiskey. I'll get into a little bit more details on each one of those here in a moment. So first, if you're new again to this channel, typically what I try to do with my reviews is we'll go through the appearance, we'll nose it, we'll taste it, and then we'll kind of get into the finish part of it, and then go through really any other general information that may pertain to the whiskey or the whiskeys in general. So again, this is going to be their standard bourbon whiskey, non-chill filtered. MASHBILL on this is going to be 79% corn, 16% unmalted rye, and 5% malted barley. Proof on this is 95.6 proof or 47.8% ABV. Non-age stated, however, it is aged that they indicate a minimum of 1 year. So it is going to be a relatively young whiskey. MSRP on this is right about that $55 price point. So we'll kind of get into the bourbon first, and then we'll kind of transition into the rye here shortly. So, all right, let's go ahead and we'll kind of get into the review here. All right, so as you can see with this, kind of like a honey type of a light honey type of color to that. Always like to move it around the glass, just kind of see, again, with it being non-chill filtered, it is sticking to the glass, fairly nicely. It's hard to maybe pick up on the camera, but it is picking up the legs and everything here. So, all right, let's get into the nose here. So right away, I get this kind of like malty type of nose to it, this maltiness. Light vanilla cream. Slight rye spice there to it. A nice light oak note to it. And definitely some floral note. And it's kind of a floral honey type of note to that. So really nice and kind of sweet and soft for the most part on the nose so far. Do pick up a little bit of that kind of that youthfulness, a little bit of that grainy kind of the corn note to it, but not overpowering. It's not a typical young whiskey nose, I would say. There's a little bit more to it than just that straight grain, note to it. So, all right, let's get into the taste. Cheers. So my first thought right away is, it's got a really, really nice mouthfeel. It's oily. It's kind of a creamy feel to it. So that already starting to kind of set up, where we're maybe going with this. It's always a good indicator of, maybe something that's going to have a little bit more flavor to it when it's nice and oily and mouth coating like that. So. So right away, heavy vanilla, some honey note to it. Again, very oily, which is nice. I like how it coats the mouth really well, starts to allow these flavors to kind of develop. And again, with it being non-chill filtered, under 100 proof, that's a huge factor for me when it's not being non-chill filtered. I think it allows for some of the fatty acids to remain there and helps to kind of coat the mouth and allow for more of a kind of a nicer flavor, so to speak. So, also starting to get some of the kind of a black pepper type of note to it. The oak starts to come out a little bit more. A lot of this is kind of hitting right on that mid palate and kind of the side of the tongue, kind of the cheeks a little bit as well. That black pepper, some nice vanilla notes. The oak is kind of coming through. So for it being a young whiskey or young bourbon, a lot of flavor really to this. This will be one of those those whiskeys or bourbons that as it ages, I think will be really incredible to kind of see how things develop. I think it's already starting out as a great product, and where it goes from there will really, really be an interesting thing. But I guess getting back to this in terms of like the finish, I mean, it's all of a medium finish, I would say, for the most part. You know, again, you're getting some of that corn sweetness, you know, some of the floral characteristics kind of come out. The honey, again, combined with the floral note, nice light oak, some vanillas that are there. A really, really nice product. And again, one I'd really, really be interested in kind of keeping my eye on to see how these age and kind of really develop. So, all right, we'll transition over to their rye whiskey here. All right, so let's get into their rye whiskey. So again, this is going to be a non-chill filtered product. This is going to be done through a sweet mash process. So different than the sour mash. This is a new batch every single time. So a lot more labor intensive to create a sweet mash versus a sour mash. So mash bill on this, it's going to be a 4-grain. This is going to be 64% unmalted rye, 16% corn, 15% unmalted barley, and 5% malted barley. So a really unique and different rye mash bill on this. So this will be really kind of interesting to see, again, how this goes. Again, non-chill filtered, which is, again, something I really appreciate that they do. Proof on this is 96.6 proof, or 48.3% ABV. Again, aged on the bottle a minimum of 1 year old, and MSRP for this is right around that $60 price point. So, all right, let's get into the review of this. So as you can see, very, very similar, kind of a light honey, very similar to a kind of like an apple juice, like a light apple juice look to that. So, all right, let's get into the nose here. This really, really nice kind of sweet rye note to it. Again, very floral on this. The rye spice that's there, I'm getting more of a spearmint than anything, not the dill that I do get on some ryes. Really nice vanilla note to it. Some oak there as well. Not a lot of heat coming off of it so far. Even a bit of like a light cinnamon note to that as well. Even a slight bit of kind of a nutty characteristic to it as well. So yeah, really interesting nose to this. So let's give this a try. Cheers. So again, very similar to the bourbon from the standpoint of a nice creamy mouth feel. Coats the mouth really, really well. Nice and oily. Little bit of heat right away, not overpowering. Again, some of that pepper note is really wanting to kind of come out in this a little bit. Sweet rye spice there. It lets you know that it's a rye for sure. Even a bit of like an herbal character, like just different herbs that are there. You know, more of the kind of earthy herbal notes that are sometimes indicative to a younger whiskey, but it's not giving the super like kind of grassy notes that you get a lot of times in a whiskey from a youthful whiskey. Again, that kind of there's a nice like black pepper type of note to it. Still with some of that like a little bit of a sweetness to it, like a vanilla cream to it. Some of the oak presence is there, and again, it's probably one of those whiskeys that are just very from a youthful standpoint, one that is going to really, I think, develop into a fantastic product. I believe already that it's a really nice rye, and will just be one of those ones that continues to, as it ages, really, kind of, build some momentum and be one of those really nice rye whiskeys. I think it's a good starting point, right now with that. So finish wise, I would say with this, you're probably again on the medium side of things. Maybe a little shorter than medium with the rye, but again, it leaves you with that nice oak, that rye spice that's there. Some of the herbal characteristics to it as well. Some of that vanilla that's there. So it's got some really nice flavors, to it. So, and some of that sweetness. And again, one of the other things I really appreciate that they're doing is just non-chill filtering. And the other thing is they're not bringing all of these down to, 85, 80 proof, 90 proof. They're barreling these things at, 96.6 and things along those lines. So that's lending itself to already being a little bit more of a full-bodied type of whiskey. So again, Devil's Creek Distillery, go check them out. It's one of these distilleries that really has kind of piqued my interest, and I'll be very interested to continue to monitor things, hopefully be able to try things as they begin to age a little bit more, and just kind of really see where things go. But already so far with both of their whiskeys, being on the younger side, they've got really nice starting point with both of these. They should be very proud of what they're producing so far. So with that being said, so like, subscribe, leave some comments. First let me know, have you tried Devil's Creek before, both their bourbon and or their rye? Always interested to hear people's thoughts on on that, and if they're trying some of these products that I'm doing reviews of. So also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can. Same thing with Twitter, all at mybourbonjourney. There also have a Facebook page if you want to join that as well. So also, if you'd like to support or contribute to the channel, you can through my Patreon page, which I'll have linked in the description below as well. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you very much for tuning into another review, and hopefully we'll see you again next time. And like I say, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.